Okay, I will. Yes. First day service.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad.
Yes. No, it's a little abrupt ending right there. We had Psalm 95 right there, and we went into like a full right there. I hope I didn't leave ones and ones on the other platform right there. Apologies on that, brothers and sisters. I just didn't know the time. I got in all the way into the first day service time right here. Left a few ones there on the other platform right here, but to pick up right here. Psalm 95, just look a bit of the dubwise right here. That was Psalm 95, still in the Medi.
Psalm 95. O come, let us sing unto the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and make a joyful noise unto him with psalm. For the Lord is a great God, and a great King above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. The strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his, and he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your heart as in the provocation, and as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said, It is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my way. Unto whom I swear in my wrath, that they should not enter into my rest, 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 rest.
מזמור צדיהם. לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישענו. נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. אשר בידו מחקרי ארץ, ותועפות הרים לו. אשר לא הים והוא עשהו, ויבשת ידיו יצרו. בואו נשתחווה ונכרעה, נברכה לפני אדוני עושנו. כי הוא אלוהינו, ואנחנו עם מרעיתו וצאן ידו. היום, אם בקולו תשמעו, אל תקשו לבבכם כמריבה, כיום מסע במדבר, אשר ניסוני אבותיכם, בחנוני גם ראו פועלי. 40 שנה אקוט בדור ואומר, עם טועה לבב הם, והם לא ידעו דרכי, אשר נשבעתי ואפי, אם יבואון אל מנוחתי.
Yes. Shabbat Tov, Shabbat Tawab. Here, first day. After the Shabbat, it's really the first day. Anyway, it's the evening, the evening here. First day service right here. Shabbat Tov, Bashem Yeshua. Good, strong, good week right here. Coming forward. Here we have the Psalm appointed as Psalm 95. Right, interesting. Psalm 95, one of the Psalms for the Sabbath time, right? The daily Psalm previous. We did zoom in on that because of the connection here, Vaetchanan. But we need to touch on Vaetchanan. But here, just to chant, rise up the chant, giving the praise here. Psalm 24. Going to touch on clean hands of Queen Makeda, and then get right into Torah reading and feedings. Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 23 to 7:11. Plus, we have the Shabbat Nachamu, right? Actually, Shabbat Nachamu for this time, this season, for the Shabbat coming forward. Comfort you all, my people. And the Brit Chadash reading and feeding. So stay tuned, right? What do you say? Church on Sunday, gather together. It's not the building, but it's I. We the people. Shua HaMoshiach, Ayin Rosh, head, right here. Rise. Wow. Psalm 24.
Psalm 24. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah, 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 Selah,
מזמור כ"ד לדוד מזמור. לאדוני הארץ ומלואה, תבל ויושבבה. כי הוא על ימים יסדה, ועל נהרות יכונניה. מי יעלה בהר אדוני, ומי יקום במקום קודשו. נקי כפיים ובר לבב, אשר לא נשא לשווא נפשי, ולא נשבע למרמה. יישא ברכה מאת אדוני, וצדקה מאלוהי ישעו. זה דור דורשיו, מבקשי פניך יעקב, סלע. שאו שערים ראשיכם, והינשאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני עזוז וגיבור, אדוני גיבור מלחמה. שאו שערים ראשיכם, ושאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי הוא זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני צבאות, הוא מלך הכבוד, סלע.
לדוד מזמור, לאדוני הארץ ומלואה, תבל ויושבבה, כי הוא על ימים יסדה, ועל נהרות יכונניה. מי יעלה בהר אדוני, מי יקום במקום קודשו. נקי כפיים ובר לבב, אשר לא נשא לשווא נפשי, ולא נשבע למרמה. יישא ברכה מאת אדוני, וצדקה אלוהי ישעו. זה דור דורשיו, מבקשי פניך יעקב סלע. שאו שערים ראשיכם, ינשאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני עזוז וגיבור, אדוני גיבור מלחמה, שאו שערים ראשיכם ושאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד, ויהיו זה מלך הכבוד, אדוני צבאות, ומלך הכבוד סלה.
Yes. Shabbat Tov, good strong. Good first day, Yom Harishon. Tov. Have a good first day here. The first day of the Shabuah. You know, the gathering of people usually by tradition and keeping the Sabbath, according to what Yahweh said. He was in a point, yes, we can gather, you know, we can have worship. But after a while, sometimes that becomes like a duty, like a doing. It basically said to rest. I want to just emphasize that right there. You know, first we have to see what does he say, and then we can take advice. You know, that does not contradict what he said. I had to look up that verse right there from the overflow from Psalm 95, Numbers 14:22. I think we said 21, but it's like a verse over. It said, because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles that I did in Mitzrayim, in the Tawi, right, called ancient Egypt, and in the wilderness, the Midbar, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice. This is an interesting. This goes with the ending of Psalm 95. Psalm 95, I think that was verse 11, right? Verse 11, because all those men who have seen my glory. So basically Moses is testifying to this new generation of Israelites here. Vaetchanan, coming forward. Ki kol hanashim haroim eta kavodi ve'eta ototai asher asiti b'mitzrayim u'bamidbar v'yanasuo tiyazeh eser pe'amim. This 10 times. Eser pe'amim willo shamu bikoli, and not shamu bikoli. Remember it says today, if you will hear hayom im bikolo, right? Tishma'u, right? This goes along with this right here. Now this is what Yahweh said. Now, what's interesting about this, maybe we can get into another reason. What about these 10 times? He says right here, 10 times, Eser pe'amim, 10 times, right? Have they tempted? You know, so it kind of really matches here. Just to kind of understand, we'll give a verse, or in our notes we'll have like, yeah, check this out in this scripture and that scripture. I know sometimes might be a bit much to, you know, like at the time, you know, just listening or doing whatever you're doing. But sometimes it's good to just, you know, trust, yes, you know, that I bringing the truth and seeking to bring forth the truth, but also verify for yourself. Numbers 14 here in the notes of Numbers 14:21. I went to 21st verse right here. 21st verse. Where's the 21st verse right here? And it says, but I live and all the earth shall be full of my glory. I said, must be a verse over. So now I went here. It's a bang. There it goes right there. It's speaking about this same psalm in the second part of it, that warning. You know, that warning. So basically what it's saying to even us is, do not be like our forefathers. All right, let's learn from our forefathers. And even the language right here in the Numbers incident is kind of reflected also in Psalm 95. Just as a little supplemental, can go get into a little more study of this right here. But what Moses is doing in this Torah reading and feeding is kind of bringing this home, right, to the new generation, this new generation of Israelites. And what we're about to do right here is ride up, ride up, ride up. We don't have the full board we normally have, so some of the sound, the audibles, we're just going to push through. Sunday service, first day service, right here. Shema Yisrael.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. What does Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, hear, O Israel, hear, O Israel, the Lord, our God, the Lord is one. What does that really mean? And why is it important?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Here, give ear and hear. The Rishon Aliyah, the first Aliyah, the first up offering up for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, for this Sabbath I besought. Shabbat Vaetchanan. Shema Yisrael. Here, give ear and hear. The Rishon Aliyah, the first Aliyah, the first up offering up for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, for this Sabbath I besought. Shabbat Vaetchanan. Here, picking up the fifth book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that is called Deuteronomy. Sefer Devarim, Sefer HaDevarim. Here, Deuteronomy chapter 3, picking up with verse 23 for this 45th sabbatical study here for this Shabbat Strong. And here, Shema Yisrael, Rastafari Hoy, Sema. Here, give ear. For the Rishon, the first Aliyah, the first up offering, a Nafora, for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, Sendet Lemen'hu. Here picking up with Deuteronomy chapter 3 at verse 23, the Hebrew first words, and here for the Rishon Aliyah, the first Aliyah. ואתחנן אליהו בעת ההיא לאמור אדוני יהוה אתה הכילותה להראות את עבדך את גדלך ואת ידך החזקה אשר מיאל בשמיים ובארץ אשר יעשה כמעשך וכי גבורותך. And I besought Vaetchanan, and I begged, I pleaded Vaetchanan. I had previously prayed Vaetchanan Eliyahu ba'et hahi lemor, and I besought Yahweh Jehovah at that time, at that hour, lemor, saying, Adonai Yahweh, Adonai Jehovah, thou hast begun to shew thy servant thy greatness. Adonai Yahweh, ata hachilota lehareota eta abdeka eta gadleka, and thy mighty hand with eta yadeka hachzaka. For what El, what true good, true God, what El is there in heaven or in earth? Asher mi El bashamayim uba'aretz, that can do according to thy, the eye works. Asher ya'isek ma'iseka, and according to thy might. Wikia geburoteka, I pray that make I go over and see the good land that is beyond Yarden, Jordan, that goodly mountain and Lebanon. But Yahweh Jehovah was wroth, was wrathed with me, with I, for your sakes, and would not hear me. Would not hear I, and Yahweh Jehovah said to I, make it suffice thee, I. Speak no more to me, to I, of this matter. Get thee up, Ali, into the top of Pisgah, and lift up thine eyes westward, and northward, and southward, and eastward, and behold it. with thine eyes, for thou shalt not go over this Yarden, this Jordan, but charge Yehoshua, Joshua, Yasu, and encourage him and strengthen him, for he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which thou shalt see. So we abode in the valley over against Beit Peor, Beth Peor. Shema Yisrael, here, fifth book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Deuteronomy chapter 4. Here, Deuteronomy chapter 4, the new generation taught the lessons of Sinai. The new generation taught the lessons of Sinai. Here, fifth book of Moses, Hebrew book called Deuteronomy chapter 4. Now, therefore, hearken, O Israel, to the statutes and to the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye y'all may live and go in and possess the land which Yahweh Elohei, Jehovah, the Elohim of your fathers, Yahweh Elohei Abotekem, giveth you. Ye y'all shall not add to the word which I command you, neither shall ye y'all diminish aught from it, that ye y'all may keep the commandments of Yahweh Jehovah Elohim, your Elohim, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what Jehovah did because of Baal Peor, for all the men that followed Baal Peor, Yahweh Elohim, God, Jehovah, the I Elohim, hath destroyed them from among you. But ye y'all did cleave to Yahweh Elohim, to Jehovah, the I them Elohim, are alive, every one of you this day. And hear, Shema Yisrael, give ear, and hear for the Sheni, Aliyah, the second Aliyah up offering up Anaphora here for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, for this Senbet Lemen'hu, this Sabbath I beseech. Here, picking up with the fifth book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Deuteronomy chapter 4. Here, Shema, give ear. Deuteronomy chapter 4, here at verse 5, for the Sheni Aliyah, for the second up offering up. Re'ei liyamadati etkem chukim u'amishapatim Asher Siyawani Yahweh Elohai La Isota Kenadik Reba Haaretz Asheratem Ba'im Shama Le Rishataha. Behold, see, seen, Re'ei, see, seen, behold, Re'ei, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh Elohai, as Jehovah, my Elohim, commanded I, that y'all should do so in the land whither, where ye y'all go to possess it, to possess her. Keep therefore and do, for this is your wisdom and your understanding, your understanding in the sight of the nations, the Goyim, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great? Who has the true good, the true God, so nigh, so near to them, as Yahweh Eloheinu, as Jehovah, I Elohim is, in all things that we, I call upon him for. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, this Torah, direction, instruction, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul, thy psyche diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them, teach them, teach them, teach them, teach them, teach them, thy sons and thy sons' sons, especially the day that thou stoodest before Lifnei Yahweh Eloheka, before Jehovah thy Elohim in Horeb, when Yahweh Jehovah said to me, gather me ha'am, the people, together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear, to respect all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And y'all came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire to the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And Yahweh Jehovah spake to you out of the midst of the fire. Y'all heard the voice of Hadebarim, the words, but saw no similitude. Only ye heard a voice. And he declared to you his covenant, his barito, which he commanded you to perform, even Eseret Hadebarim, the Eseret Hadebarim, 10 words, called the 10 Commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone. And Yahweh Jehovah commanded I at that time, at that hour, to teach you statutes and judgments, that y'all might do them in the land whither way y'all go over to possess it, to possess her. Take ye y'all therefore good heed to yourselves, for ye y'all saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yahweh Jehovah spake to you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye y'all corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of Zakar or Nekeva, male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of any thing that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth, and lest thou lift up thine eyes to Shemayim, to the heavens, to heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the Elohim, hath divided to all nations, all the Goyim, the international community, under the whole heaven. But Yahweh Jehovah hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even Mimitzrayim, out of Kemet, out of Egypt, to be to him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Furthermore, Yahweh Jehovah was angry with me, with I, for your sakes, and swear that I should not go over Yarden, Jordan, and that I should not go in to that good land, Toba, Ethiopia, Toba, which Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, the Elohim, giveth thee for an inheritance. But I must die in this land. I must not go over Yarden, Jordan, but ye all shall go over and possess that Toba, that good land. Take heed to yourselves, lest ye all forget the covenant of Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah Yahweh Elohim, which he made with you, and make you a graven image, or the likeness of anything, which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah the Elohim, hath forbidden thee. For Yahweh Elohim is a consuming fire, even a jealous, a zealous Elkanah. When thou, the eye, shall beget children and children's children, and ye all shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image, or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, to provoke him to anger. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye all shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereto ye y'all go over Yarden, to possess it, to possess her. Ye, y'all, shall not prolong your days upon it, upon her, but shall utterly be destroyed. And Yahweh Jehovah shall scatter you among the Goyim, the nations, the international community, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither, where Yahweh Jehovah shall lead you. And there ye all shall serve Elohim, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But if from there, thou shalt seek Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, thou shalt find. If thou seek him with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, thy psyche, when thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to Yahweh Eloheka, to Jehovah the I Elohim, and shalt be obedient to his voice. For Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, is a merciful El. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, thy patriarchs, which he sware to them. For ask now the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that Elohim created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of Shemayim, of heaven, to the other, whether there hath been any such thing as this great thing is, or hath been heard like it. Did ever people hear the voice of Elohim speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard, and live? Or hath Elohim essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation, by temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, Yah Elohim, did for you in Mitzrayim, in Kemet, Egypt, before your eyes? To thee it was shewed, that thou mightest know that Yahweh Jehovah, he is Elohim, Ha-Elohim. There is none else beside him. That thou should know, that thou mightest know. To the eye it was shewed, that thou mightest know. Ki Yahuwah ha-Elohim, ein od milvado, ein od milvado. That Jehovah, he is the Elohim, the true Elohim. Ki Yahuwah ha-Elohim. There is none, no one else beside him. Ein oda milvado. Out of Shemayim, heaven, he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. And upon earth he shewed thee his great fire, and thou heardest his words, Devarim, out of the midst of the fire, Ha'esh. And because he loved thy fathers, thy patriarchs, therefore he chose their seed, their race, after them, and brought thee out in his sight with his mighty power, Mitzrayim, out of Kemet, out of Egypt, to drive out Goyim, nations, from before thee, greater and mightier than thou art, to bring thee in, to give thee their land for an inheritance as it is this day. Know therefore this day, and consider it in thine heart, that Yahweh, that Jehovah, Ki Yahweh, Hu Ha-Elohim Bashamayim Miyama Al Wi'Allah Ha-Aretz Miyatachat Ein Oda. No. Therefore, this day, and consider it in thine heart, that Yahweh Jehovah, He is the Elohim, the true good, the true God. Ki Yahweh Hu Ha Elohim in Shemayim above, and upon the earth beneath. There is none else. Ein Oda. Thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth, which Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, the I Elohim, giveth thee.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
And here, Shema Yisrael, here, give here. Here for the Shalishi, Aliyah. The third Aliyah, the third up offering up, the third reading. Here from the fifth book of Moshe, the Hebrew book called Deuteronomy. Here we pick up with Deuteronomy chapter 4 at verse 41 for the Shalishi Aliyah, for the third reading, the third up offering, Aliyah, Anaphora, offering up for this Shabbat, Vaetchanan. Send better Lemen'hu, Sabbath I besought. Here picking up with Deuteronomy chapter 4 at verse 41, 3 of the cities of refuge designated. Here picking up for the Shalishi Aliyah. Aza Yabdil Moshe Shalosha Arim Be'Eiber HaYardeina Mizarecha Shemesh. Then Moses severed 3 cities on this side Yarden, Ha-Yarden, Jordan, toward the sun rising. Aza Yavadil Moshe Shalosha Arim Be'Eiber HaYarden Mizarecha Shamesh, that the slayer might flee thither, there, which should kill his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in times past and I was past, and that fleeing to one of these cities he might live, namely Bezer in the Midbar, in the wilderness, in the plain country of the Reubenites, and Ramoth in Gilead of the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan of the Manassites. And this is HaTorah, the law, direction, instruction, which Moshe set before the Bnei Yisrael, the children, the sons of Yisrael. These are the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Moses spake to the Bnei Yisrael, to the sons, the children of Yisrael, after they came forth, Mitzrayim, out of Kemet, out of Egypt. On this side, Yarden, Jordan, in the valley over against Beth Peor, in the land of Sihon, king of Ha'emori, king of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moses, and the Bnei Yisrael, smote after they were come forth, Mitzrayim, out of Kemet, out of Egypt. And they possessed his land, and the land of Og, king of Bashan, 2 kings of the Amorites, which were on this side Yarden, toward the sun rising, from Aroer, which is by the bank of the river Arnon, even to Mount Siwon, which is Hermon, and all the plain this side Yarden, Jordan, eastward, even to the sea of the plain, under the springs of Pisgah. And Shema Yisrael. Here. Give ear for the Rabi'i, the fourth Aliyah, the fourth up offering up, the fourth reading here for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, Sendet Lemen'hu. Here. Shema. Here, give ear. Fifth book of Moses, Hebrew book called Deuteronomy chapter 5. The new generation taught the Mosaic covenant. Here, picking up with Deuteronomy chapter 5, the new generation taught the Mosaic covenant, and here for the Rabi'i, the fourth reading, the fourth Aliyah, the fourth up offering up, Anaphora, for this Shabbat Vaetchanan. ויקרא משה אל כל ישראל ויאמר אליהם שמעו ישראל את החוקים ואת המשפטים אשר אנוכי אדבר באזניכם היום ולמדתם אותם ושמרתם לעשותם. And Moses called all Israel. Vayikra Moshe. He'll call Israel. And said to them, Vayomer Eleihem. Hear, O Israel, Shema Yisrael. The statutes and the judgments which I speak in your ears this day. Shema Yisrael et ha-chukim ve'et ha-mishapatim asher anoki dober be'aznekem hayom, that ye all may learn them. Ulemadtem otam, and keep, ushamartem, and do them, la esotem. Yahweh Eloheinu, Jehovah, Ayanai Elohim, made a covenant, a brit with us, with Ayanai in Horeb. Yahweh Jehovah made not this covenant, this brit, with our fathers, our patriarchs, but with us, with I and I, who are all of us here alive this day. Yahweh Jehovah talked with you face to face in Hahar, in the mount, out of the midst of Ha'esh, the midst of the fire. I stood between Yahweh Jehovah and you at that time, at that hour, to shew you the word of Yahweh, the word of Jehovah. For ye all were afraid by reason of Ha'esh, the fire, and went not up, aliyah not up into Hahar, the mount, saying, I, Yahweh Eloheka, I be, he who we be, the I, Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Mitzrayim, Kemet, Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other Elohim before I. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. Ki ani Yahweh Eloheka, for I be, he who we be, the I Elohim, El Kana, a jealous El, visiting the iniquity of the fathers, the patriarchs, upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, that hate I, and shewing mercy to thousands of them that love me, that love I, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, the I Elohim, in vain, for Yahweh Jehovah will not hold him guiltless that taketh Shemo, his name, in vain. keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I, Elohim, hath commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh Eloheka, of Jehovah the I, Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. And remember that thou wast a servant in the land of Mitzrayim and Kemet in Egypt, and Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I, Elohim, brought thee out thence, out from there through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I, Elohim, commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. Honor thy father and thy mother, as Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I, Elohim, has commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged and that it may go well with thee in the land which Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I, Elohim, giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder, neither shalt thou commit adultery, neither shalt thou steal, neither shalt thou be a false witness against thy neighbor, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, thy neighbor's isha, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's bait, house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor. And hear, Shema Israel. Hear, give ear for the Hamishi, Aliyah. The 5th reading, the 5th offering, up offering for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, Sendet Lemen'hu. Here, picking up with the 5th book of Moshe, the Hebrew book called Deuteronomy chapter 5, here at verse 22. In the KJV, verse 22, corresponding in the Chumash, verse 19, but here for the Hamishi Aliyah. Etahad barim ha'el diberi Yahweh illa kola kehalkem bahara mitoka ha'esh He'anana we ha'irafela kola gadol we lo yasafa wa yikatevim Allah shneya luchota abanim wa yitanema helai. Here, picking up with the Hamishi, the 5th reading, the 5th Aliyah, Deuteronomy chapter 5, here verse 22. These words, Etahadebarim ha'ele, these words, Yahweh, Jehovah, spake to all your assembly in the mount, out of the midst of Ha'esh, the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice, a great voca. And he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tablets of stone, and delivered them to me, to I. And it came to pass, when ye all heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, that ye all came near to I, near to me, even all the Roshé, the races of your tribes, and your elders. And ye said, behold, Yahweh Eloheinu, Jehovah, I, Elohim, hath showed us, his glory and his greatness. And we, I, have heard his voice out of the midst of Ha'esh, the fire. We, I, have seen this day that Elohim doth talk with man, and he liveth. Now, therefore, why should we die? for this great fire will consume us, I and I, if we hear the voice of Yahweh Eloheinu, of Jehovah, I and I Elohim anymore. Then we, I and I, shall die. For who is there of all flesh that have heard the voice of Elohim Chaim, the living Elohim, speaking out of the midst of Ha'esh, the fire, as we, I and I, have, and lived? Go thou, the eye near, and hear all that Yahweh Eloheinu, Jehovah, I and I Elohim, shall say, and speak thou to us, to I and I, all that Yahweh Eloheinu, Jehovah, I and I Elohim, shall speak to thee, I. And we, I and I, will hear it and do it. And Yahweh, Jehovah, heard the voice, the voca of your words, the barim, your words, when ye all spake to me, to I. And Yahweh Jehovah said to me, said to I have heard the voice of the barim, the words of this people, which they have spoken to thee, I. They have well said all that they have spoken. Oh, that there was such an heart in them, that they would fear, respect, I, and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever, forever. Go say to them, get you into your tents again. But as for thee, I, stand thou here by me, by I, and I will speak to thee, I, all the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which thou shalt teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it, to possess her. Ye, y'all shall observe to do therefore as Yahweh Elohim, as Jehovah y'all Elohim hath commanded you. Ye, y'all shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left. Ye, y'all shall walk in all the ways which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, y'all Elohim, hath commanded you, that ye, y'all, may live, and that it may be well with you, and that ye, y'all, may prolong your days in the land which ye, y'all, shall possess. Shema, hear, hear, hear. Fifth book of Moses, Moshe, Hebrew book called Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy chapter 6. Now, these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, Yahweh Elohim, commanded to teach you, that y'all might do them in the land whither way ye y'all go to possess it, to possess her, that thou mightest fear, mightest respect Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, the I, Elohim, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Yisrael, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as Yahweh Elohei Aboteka, as Jehovah, the Elohim of thy patriarchs, thy fathers, hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
And here, for the
Yes. Apologies. Give me one moment just to reloop that audible right there. Here we're at the 6th Aliyah. The 6th Aliyah coming forward right here. Here, first day
Hear,
service.
O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. What does Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad? Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. The Lord, our God, the Lord is one. What does that really mean? And why is it important?
Here, give ear, and here, and here, and here. And here, for the Sheishi Aliyah. For this Shabbat Vaetchanan, for this Sendeta Lemen'hu, Sabbath, I besought. Here, for the 6th reading, the 6th Aliyah, 6th offering up offering. Here for this Sabbath, I besought Shabbat Vaetchanan. Here, picking up the 5th book of Moses, the Hebrew book called Deuteronomy chapter 6. Here at verse 4, the great commandment. Shema Yisrael. Here. Give ear and hear for the Sheishi Aliyah. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahweh Jehovah, Ayanai Elohim, Yahweh Echad. Jehovah, the one, he who be, we be. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Hear, O Yisrael, he who be, we be, Ayanai Elohim, he who be, the one. Ahabta eti Yahweh Eloheka, b'kol levaveka, u'b'kol nafsheka, u'b'kol me'odeka. And thou, the I, shalt love Yahweh Jehovah, the I, Elohim, Yahweh Eloheka. And thou shalt love he who be, the I, Elohim, with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, thy psyche, and with all thy might. Instruction and warning, verse 6. And these words, with Hayu Hadebarim Ha'ele, and these words which I command thee, this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently to thy children, to thy sons, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of Beitekah, the eye's bait, the eye's house, and on thy gates. And it shall be when Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I, Elohim, shall have brought thee into the land which he sware to thy fathers, thy patriarchs, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things, which thou fillest not, and wells digged, which thou diggest not, vineyards, vineyards, and olive trees, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Beware lest thou forget Yahweh Jehovah, he who he be, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu Baruch Hashem, who brought thee forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the land of Kemet, out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear, respect Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, the I, Elohim, and serve him, and shall swear by Shemo, his name. Y'all shall not go after other gods, Elohim Acharim, of the Elohim of the people, which are round about you. Ki Yahweh Eloheka, Elkanah, for Jehovah, the I Elohim, Elkanah, a zealous El, a jealous God among you, lest the anger of Yahweh Eloheka, of Jehovah, the I Elohim, be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Ye, y'all, shall not tempt Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, y'all Elohim, as y'all tempted in Massah. Ye, y'all, shall diligently keep the commandments of Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, y'all Elohim, and his testimonies and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of Yahweh, of Jehovah, of he who he be, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which Yahweh, which Jehovah, he who he be, swear to thy fathers, to thy patriarchs, to cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as Yahweh Jehovah hath spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time and I were to come, Lamor, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Yahweh Eloheinu, Jehovah, I Elohim, hath commanded you? Then thou shalt say to thy son, we, I, were Paro, Pharaoh's bondmen in Mitzrayim, in Kemet, in Egypt, and Yahweh Jehovah brought I, Mitzrayim, out of Kemet, out of Egypt, with a mighty hand. And Yahweh Jehovah shoots signs and wonders, great and sore, upon Mitzrayim, upon Kemet, upon Egypt, upon Paro, Pharaoh, and upon all his household, before I eyes, and he brought I out from thence, from there, that he might bring us I in, and give us I the land, which he sware to I fathers, to our patriarchs. And Yahweh Jehovah commanded I us to do all these statutes, and to fear and to reverence and to respect Yahweh Eloheinu, Jehovah I Elohim, for our I good always, that he might preserve us I alive, as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if I observe to do all these commandments, Lifnei Yahweh Eloheinu, before Jehovah I Elohim, as he hath commanded us, as he hath commanded I.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohenu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
Give ear, hear for the Shabi'i, Aliyah, 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 for this Shabbat, Vaetchanan, Sabbath, I besought, Sendet Lemen'hu. Here, picking up with the fifth book of Moshe, Hebrew book that's called Deuteronomy chapter 7, the command to be separate. The command to be separate. And here, give ear, Shema for the Shabi'i, the seventh reading, the seventh Aliyah, the seventh up offering. Here. Ki yi'bi'eka Yahuwah Eloheka el ha'aretz asher ata ba shama li'rishataha v'nashala goyim rabim miya paneka ha'chiti v'ha-girgashi, v'ha-emori, v'ha-kanani, v'ha-perizi, v'ha-chiwi, v'ha-yebusi, shib'a goyim rabim, v'etz'umima mimeka. When Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah, the I Elohim, shall bring thee into the land whither where thou goest to possess it, to possess her, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when when Jehovah the Elohim shall I deliver them before thee. Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy to them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give to his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take to thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, from following I, and that they may serve Elohim Acharim, other Elohim. So will the anger of Yahweh of Jehovah be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus, like this, shall ye y'all deal with them. Ye y'all shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people, an isle people, a set apart people to Yahweh Eloheka, to Jehovah the I Elohim. Yahweh Eloheka, Jehovah the I Elohim, hath chosen thee to be a special people to himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahweh Jehovah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because y'all were more in number than any people, for y'all were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh Jehovah loveth you, and because he would keep the oath which he hath sworn to your fathers, to your patriarchs, hath Yahweh Jehovah brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, king of Kemet, Egypt. For the maftir for this Shabbat, Vaetchanan, here at verse 9, the maftir. Yada'ita ki Yahweh Eloheka hu ha-Elohim ha'el ha-ne'eman shomer ha-berita we ha-chesed ale o ha-bayu u'ale shomarei mi tz'otayu le'elefa dor. Here for the maftir for this Shabbat Vaetchanan. Know therefore that Yahweh that Jehovah, that he who be, Eloheka, the I Elohim, who he ha Elohim, he is the true Elohim, who I Elohim. Ha-el, the El, Ha-el, 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 Ha-ne-eman, the faithful El, the faithful Ha-el, Ha-el, Ha-ne-eman, Shomer Ha-berit, the one who keepeth, he who be, who keepeth covenant with Ha-chesed, and mercy and loving kindness and mercy and chesed, with ha-chesed, le-o-habayu, keepeth mercy to them that loveth him, u-le-shomarei, mitzvotayu, and keepeth his commandments, le-elef dor, to 1,000 generations. Know, therefore, that Yahweh Eloheka, that Jehovah, the I Elohim, he who ha-Elohim, he is the true Elohim, the faithful Elohim, who keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. Thus fulfills the Torah portion aliyot for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, Senbet Lemen'hu Sabbath I besought. Glory to the word, glory be to the sound, glory be to the power. Glory be to I, thy Father, I, thy King. Glory be to the first power of the Trinity in the name of Vaetchanan and in the name of Jesus Christos. Amen.
Yes. Stay tuned. Haftarah, the prophet's reading here. The Shabbat known as Nachamu. Here we have the weeks of comfort leading up to the third of the 3 times in a year and the 3 appointments, the Day of Trumpets, Yom Teruah, Yom HaKippurim, Day of the Atonements, and Sukkot. Here we have what they call the fall festivals at the end of the year, and we have these 7 weeks right here. So here we have Yeshayahu, Isaiah the prophet, chapter 40, verses 1 to 26. Let's ride up right here, so we can hopefully get in some reasoning right here. First day service. So going forward. In spirit and truth, the Baraka.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verses 1 through verse 26. Comfort ye, my people, saith your Elohim. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry to her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of Yahweh's hand double for all her sins. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of Yahweh, Buruku. Make straight in the desert a highway for Elohim. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. And the glory of Yahweh, Buruku, shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. For the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it. The voice said, cry. And he said, what shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and all the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the spirit of Yahweh bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of our Elohim, Buruku, shall stand forever. O Zion, that bringeth good tidings, get thee up into the high mountain. O Jerusalem, that bringeth good tidings, lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up, be not afraid. Say to the cities of Yehuda, behold your Elohim, Buruku. Behold, the Master Yahweh will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young. Who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out the heavens with a span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scale, and the hills in balance? Who hath directed the spirit of Yahweh, Buruku, or being his counselor hath taught him? With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him? and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing. Vanity. To whom then will you liken El? Or what likeness will ye compare to him? The workman melteth a graven image, and the goldsmith spreadeth it with gold, and casteth silver chains. He that is so impoverished that he have no oblation chooseth a tree that will not rot. He seeketh to him a cunning work to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Have you not known? Have you not heard? Have it not been told to you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, Jah, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in, that bringeth the princes to nothing. He maketh the judges of the earth as vanity. Yea, they shall not be planted. Yea, they shall not be sown. Yea, their stock shall not take root in the earth. And he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither. And the whirlwind, the Sahara, shall take them away as stubble. To whom then will ye liken me to, or shall I be equal, saith the Kadusan Buruku? Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who have created these things, that bringeth out their hosts by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might, for that he is strong and higher in power, not one faileth. Amen.
Kebole Kwalu, Kebole Demsu, Kebole Hailu, Kebole Kedamawe Haile Selassie, King of Kings, the Goose Niggas Ethiopia, Jah Rastafari. Before I leave the house, I eat up on my daily bread. Before I get up, I kneel down at the side of my bed. My spirit led by the blood of Yeshua shed. Scripture said, you gotta be spiritually fed. I know the ledge, keep them always Haile Selassie, I pledge. Open up a new page, open up a new age. Time for the final plague, time for the end of days. Exodus on our way, recognize the plan. In the hand of the foreign man in a foreign land. Look at my hand, my golden tan is melanin. And in this land, you hated the Canaanites and Edomites, Amalekites and Amorites. But Yah's delight is the well-being of the Israelites. Now it's time to get it right. Get it while I spit it tight. I always ask the spirit to lead. Let me dig into these scriptures while I'm puffing on weed. Smoke.
Yes, yes. V'imru. Amen. Give thanks, give thanks. Nachamu, nachamu. Comfort your army. My people, nachamu, nachamu. Comfort your army. The prophecy of Hosea is to call our brothers army. Consider the brothers army. Army means my people, and to the daughters Ruhama, she who's shown mercy. But here, Shabbat nachamu, here moving this Shabua. May the Shabua be a nachamu as well, be a Shabua of comfort. Menachem, the comforter. Here, to the Brit Chadasha, to new covenant reading right here. Here we have Matthew chapter 23, focus verses 31 to 39. Mark chapter 12, focus verses 28 to 34. There's a couple other places that are also appropriate in the scripts, but here, for the Brit Chadash.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohenu, Adonai Echad.
The Brit Chadasha Chadis Kidan Renewed Covenant Reading for RSS number 45, Vaetchanan, and I pleaded. From the Gospel of Matthew chapter 23 verse 31 through 39, and Mark chapter 12 verse 28 through 34. We begin B'Shem Ha'ab, W'Habin, Ruach HaKadosh Yahweh Ahad. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, He who He be, the One. V'hinei atem midim be'atzmekem shebanim atem leroschei hanibim u'bekain v'lo atem sat abotekem nachashim ילדי ציפונים, העיק תימלטו מדין גיהינום. לכן, הנני שולח לכם נביאים וחכמים וסופרים, ומהם תהרגו ותצלבו, ומהם תכו בשוטים בכנסיותיכם, ותרדפו מעיר לעיר. למען יבוא עליכם כל דם נקי הנשפך בארץ מדם הבל הצדיק אדם זכריה בן ברקיה אשר רצתם אותו בין ההיכל ומזבח. Wherefore, ye be witnesses to yourselves, that ye are the children of them that killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send to you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah, son of Berechiah, whom he slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say to you, all these things shall come upon this generation. The lament over Jerusalem. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them that are sent to thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left to you desolate. For I say to you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hashem. ואחד מן הסופרים שמע אותם מתווכחים, ויקרב עליהם, וירא כי היטב השבם, וישאלהו מהי הראשונה לכל המצוות, ויען אותו ישוע הראשונה לכל המצוות, שמע ישראל יהוה אלוהינו יהוה אחד, ואהבת את יהוה אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מדעך ובכל מודעך. זו היא המצווה הראשונה, והשנית הדומה לה, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, ואין מצווה גדולה מאלה. ויאמר עליו הסופר, אמנם רבי יפה דברת, כי אלוהים אחד הוא, ואין עוד מלבדו. ולאהבה אותו בכל לבב, ובכל מידה, ובכל נפש, ובכל מוד, ובכל אהבה את הרעה כנפשך. גדולה היא מכל עולות וזבחים, וירא ישוע כי ענה בדעת, ויאמר אליו, לא רחוק אתה ממלכות האלוהים, ואיש לא הרב עוד את ליבו לשאול אותו שאלה. The greatest commandments. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, What is the first commandment of all? And Yeshua answered him, The first of all the commandments is, Shema Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ahad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God, Yahweh Eloheka, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. And the scribe said to him, Well, Rebbe, well, Master, thou hast said the truth. For there is one God, and there is none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all whole burnt offering and sacrifice. And when Yeshua saw that he answered discreetly, he said to him, Thou art not far from the kingdom of Elohim. And no man after that durst ask him any question. Kabor lakalu, kabor ledimtu, kabor lachailu, kabor lekedamawi, chaile selassie, beyesus Christos sim. Glory to word, glory to sound, glory to power. Glory to Abinu Melkenu, our Father, our King, the first power of the Trinity, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. Yes, I, Rastafari.
Yes, yes, yes. Toda, toda. Toda. Rabba. Enough thanks right there. Fire. Yes, Ras. Ayasent Tafari, Ras Sahar Ahad for the readings right there. Respectively, the Brit Chadasha, you just heard right there. And before that, the Haftarah from Yeshaya, from Isaiah chapter 40. Here in the time, the Shabbat of comfort, as we come to fulfillment of, we can say, the holy year, here, in the season, in the time. Yes, I give thanks for fulfillment right there. We're Imru, and y'all say Amen, and I trust, and I credit. Yes, word, sound, and power. Yes, I. So here, I'd like to touch on the Shema right there, the New Covenant reading, right, that we chose right there for the New Covenant reading to bring out, the theme of the Torah reading, Vaetchanan, as well as the Haftarah reading, the comfort, Nachamu. I'd like to pick up on that in the reasonment right here. But something that was said, we try to zoom in on it. Ein od milvado, there is none other than He. Often some Yehudi will say, well, this is like a kind of a word sound based on the strength of one's credit, to say one's faith, one emunah, as a protection against all kinds of people say witchcraft or whatever. There's a verse that someone must chant and meditate on. It's called the Ein od milvado. There is none other. There ain't other or any other than He who be. Think first right here. Would like to give the interpretation in this dubwise reasonment, and then pick up for reasonment here for the first day service, zooming in on some of the fundamental reasonments here in the 45th sabbatical study. We have the royal law, of course. We have Torah, but particularly we have the Aseret HaDibarim, the 10 words, Aseret 10 HaDibarim, the Dibarim, the words. The 10 words is falsely called the 10 commandments. But from a Hebrew perspective, it's one command. Like to actually zoom in on that James reasoning right there. But here, look at dub-wise right here. Ein od milvado. There ain't none other than he who be. So some people say, well, there's the devil, he got power, and the evildoers, and then God has power, and they wrestling back and forth. We don't really believe that. We don't credit that right there. We say ein od milvado. That yes, there's the evildoers, right? He can give them permissive will and allow them, but there ain't no other power but he who be who he be. Here.
There's a Hebrew tune, the Ein od milvado. Ein od milvado. There is no other, none else beside him. The Ein od milvado. Ein od milvado. Do you know that tune? Have you heard that tune? The Ein od milvado. But here's where it comes from right here. Here in this Shabbat, for this Shabbat Vaetchanan, for the 45th sabbatical study for this Rastafari sabbatical strong, we get into the second, the Sheni Aliyah, the second offering up, offering, the second reading. Second reading, the Sheni, we have 5th book of Moses, Hebrew book that's called in the translation Deuteronomy chapter 4. We have verse 35 and verse 39. Very, very important. Verse 35 and verse 39. Now, when we come to verse 35, here in 35 it says, to thee it was shewed. To thee it was shewed, it was shown. Ata, hareita, and it was shown to the eye, it was shown. Ata, the eye, male. Ata, Ata, the eye, male. Hareita, it was shown. La da'at, for knowledge, for gnosis. La da'at, the da'at. Now it's interesting looking Kabbalistically at the tree, when you look at the tree, even that Kabbalistic tree of life, the da'at, the knowledge. In the Koine Greek, it's the gnosis or gnosis, the knowledge, the da'at, that thou mightest know. La da'at, hata, hare'eta, la da'at, ki yawahu, ha Elohim, ein od milvado, ein od milvado, ein od milvado, ein od milvado. Translation, that thou mightest know. La da'at, to know, the gnosis, the knowledge. La da'at, ki, that Yahweh, that Jehovah, who, he, Yahweh, he, Yahweh, la da'ata ki Yahweh, ha Elohim, that thou mightest know that Jehovah, he, ki Yahweh, he, ha Elohim, the, ha, definite article in the Hebrew, ha Elohim. He is the Elohim, the true good, the true God. The true Trinity is the Hebrew Trinity, ha Elohim. Ein, none od else milvado, none else, there's none, no one else beside him, that I and I might know, might have the da'at, la da'at is for da'at. What is the reason why it was shewn? It says, to thee I, hata. So we have the hata, And we have Ata, or Ata. And now, Ata Yisrael Shema. And now Israel, hear, hearken. So we have Ata, but here we have the pronoun Ata, speaking to the I, male, speaking to the individual, male, if I'm speaking to the I as a male, the pronoun is Ata, Baruch Ata Adonai. Here we have Ata, Ha-Re'eta. It was shown to the I, male. Speaking to Yisrael in the singularity, in that corporate sense, all as one. All as one man. So that idea that is brought more out in the Brit Chadasha, that sense of we are the body, all the members of the body, and HaMoshiach, he is the Rosh, the Ras, he is the head of this corporate body of which we are one. So speaking to Yisrael as one man, as one male, Ata, Ha-Re'eta, it was shown to the I, male, La Da'at, for knowledge, to know, La Da'at, that the I might know, Ki Yahu Ha-Elohim, Ein Od Milvado, Ein Od Milvado, that thou mightest know that Jehovah, he himself and none other, Ki Yahu Ha-Elohim, that he who be, who he be, is he, the Elohim, Ein Od Milvado, and there is no one else beside him, Ein Od Milvado. This is what we have here in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35. This is a key. These are keys right here. And then when we look at verse 39, bring it forward to verse 39. Know therefore this day. Don't be ignorant. Know therefore this day. V'yada'ita. V'yada'ita hayom. And know, have the gnosis, the knowledge, therefore, this day, and consider it in thy heart. Wa hashevota illa levaveka ki yawahu ha-Elohim bashamayim miya ma'ala wi Allah ha'aretz miya tachata ein od. Know therefore this day and consider it in thine heart, illa levaveka, in the I heartedly, that he who be, who he be, he himself and none other, Ha-Elohim, the true good, the true God. The true Trinity is the Hebrew Trinity in heaven above and upon the Aretz, the earth beneath. There is none else. Ein od. There is none else. Ein, nothing. None od. None else. This is the key. These are the key verses right here. Take note. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35. Notice how these verses, in essence, are repeating and seeking to drive home to the groundation, this central idea, the gnosis, the knowledge, the da'at, the true divine, this is the true divine data, the da'at, la da'at, hata, hareta, la da'at, ki Yahuwah ha-Elohim, ein oda milvado. And with Yada'ita Hayom wa Heshevota illa levaveka ki Yahuwah ha-Elohim Bashamayim ma'ala wa Allah ha'aretza niyatahata hein od. Know therefore this day and consider in thine heart that he who be, who he be, Yahweh, Yod-Heh, Weh-Heh, Jehovah, who he, ha-Elohim. He is the true Elohim, the true good, the true God. Yahweh, who, ki, Yahweh, who, ha-Elohim. The true good, the true God in heaven above, Bashamayim ma'al, and upon the earth beneath, Wi'al ha'aretza, mitahat, ein od, there is no else, no one else, ein od milvado, ein od milvado. There is no one, none else beside him. This is a word Hebraically speaking for I and we. This is like the root of like the confession, right? The confession of he who be, who he be. The gnosis. It was shewed for what reason? That we might have the divine data, the da'at, that we might know he who be, who he be, that he who ha-Elohim, ein od milvado, and there is none, no one else beside him. We're to know therefore this day and consider in our heartily that he who be, who he be, that Jehovah, who he ha-Elohim, he is the true good, the true God, ha-Elohim in Shemayim, the heavens above and upon the earth, on earth, wa'al ha'aretza miyatachat, and upon earth, tachat, mitachat, from below, ein od, there is none, no one else, ein od milvado. Sima. Wa'ata Yisaraya Shema'a, ein od milvado. There is none, no one else beside him. He who be, who he 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 be.
So right here's an example. Just to give an example of that right there. Here we have an example. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35. Okay, let's take it off. I was just highlighting the words. Here we have Ain, right? Ain. Let's do this right here. Move this over. Yeah, Ain, Od Milvado. Modern Hebrew Milvado. Ain Od Milvado. More ancient Afro-Shemitic pointing Ain Od Milvado. Here, what do we have right here? Let's do this here. Bring this up. What's the verse? This is the verse right here. Not but to thee was shewed, that thou mightest know that Yahweh, he is Elohim. It says none else beside him. So if we read it like, take out the from unto, to thee, not to thee, but to thee, it was shewed, to thee. right? It was shewed that thou, the eye, mightest or may know that Yahweh, he who be, who, he, Elohim, there is none, or there, well, actually, there is italicized. That's not there. So the force of it is that it was shewed, right, that you might know that Yahweh, he, Elohim, none else besides him, Ain Od Milbado. This is the place here in scripture, just to show you right here. It's interesting, and it's also repeated kind of elsewhere. As we mentioned, it is said by some to be like based on faith, like a talisman, against in the spiritual warfare. Because if you believe that like the enemy has some power that somehow is his, and there's like these powers fighting the good and the bad, it's kind of confusing there from the Hebrew perspective. Is that we are to know, and the Israelites are being told this based on their experience, to know, and the da'at bring up the yada is to know, right? Yada, right? Remember the other word, it was yada. There's yada. Let's see if I can pronounce this clearly. Yada, and there is yada. It looks the same in English, but it's really not the same. It may seem similar, but not the same. This here, yada. Yada. The other one is yadaha. Yadah has an H, so it's more lighter. It's a lighter sound. Yada, because yad is hand, and yada is like the hand, to use the hand, to throw, to shoot, to aim. Can also be, in a sense, to direct. We have the word Torah from the yada sense, but this yada and this yada to know properly. It says to ascertain. Interesting, in the ancient root sense, by seeing, the sense of like gnosis or gnosis in the Koine Greek, gnosis, right? Besides the whole Gnostic argument and all that, but just getting to the plain word, it means to have like an experiential knowledge of something. Like you experience, when you go through something or you heard about something, now you experience this. Your knowledge is a little better than when you just heard about it. That's why it says using a great variety of senses. But thou mightest know. In the Hebrews, la da'at, to know, da'at. Da'at is knowledge. La da'at has a sense of to know, right? So that you will know that Yahweh, who Elohim, that he is Elohim. He is the Elohim, and none else. Even the there is not even there. The there is in the Hebrew is not there. That's why they have it italicized. There's none else, right? Ain O. They translate here. They have H5750. That's just the sense of else, in a sense. I'm gonna bring up the Hebrew so you can see it from the Tanakh. It's a little more better even when we go into the blue letter with the Tanakh, because going to each word. There's some words sometimes in the KJV that they don't give a blue letter to, right? But one thing good about the KJV, at least, is that where it has the italicizations, that was a way that they even distinguish it in their translation, to say it's not really there, the word, but we supply this word to give a sense of it. But the force is that to know, to have gnosis, that he who be, not to guess, not to believe, but to know, right? To know that he is Elohim and none else. Milbado, besides him, from him. Bod. I know it looks bad, right? But bod, right? Bod, like libadi. If I say levadi, or libadi, I'm saying by myself alone. If I say libado, I'm saying like him alone. So bod has a sense of alone, by itself, the sense of separation. Sometimes in translation when it says only, libado, or in the sense milbado, right? The preposition milbado, the me, from, bado, apart from, besides him alone, him only, right? So bring it down to here, the bod sense, the root. This is a verb, yes? No, in this sense here it's a noun. It's from the verb badad. Badad is the verb. Badad in milvado. It means like to withdraw, to separate, to be isolated. In some context, like an army straggler, like no stragglers, nobody lebadad, don't be left behind, stay with the company. Of Ephraim was considered that. Ephraim, you see how Israel, the 10 tribes went away, it was just Judah by themselves. But the badad here has a sense of to divide, in a sense of solitary, him alone. Just to bring out just some of the sense here of these key words. Because I heard that, well, for some Yehudi, this was said to be like a kind of a way, like if somebody says, oh, somebody trying to do witchcraft or something like that on you, the kind of response with faith, powered by one's emunah, credit, of course, would be Ain Od Malvado. Ain Od, there is none other than him. So whoever you going to, there's no other power. So if it happens, it's because he who be allowed it to happen. But I don't think he who be allow you to happen, because I have faith in he who be. So Ain Od Malvado. So there's no other power. In other words, it's a way of mental focus, like the Shema Yisrael. It's a way to stay focused. So here's the verse right here. Ata har'eta. It was shown to the eye. La da'at ki Yahuwah, for he who be. Who right here. Who. All right. That's the the pronoun for he. For he who be Yahuwah, who he. Ha Elohim, as we emphasize that there is not just who Elohim, but it's who Ha Elohim. Ha Elohim. Like in the Hebrew, when we say El, like El Elyon, it's like the most high power, or God Almighty, or the Almighty Most High. El Elyon. El, remember the El is said like that. We don't say El, right? Because it's an Aleph. El, but we have an Ain and Elyon, so it might sound like in a full voicing, El Elyon, from Allah, like to be high, has no relation to the false idol, the Mohammedans. But here it says, who Ha Elohim, he is the Elohim. He is, to say, the true God. Like other people have their Elohim, but that's just stuff they made up. This he, Yahuwah, he is the Elohim. And then right after it says, Ain Od Milbado. Ain Od Milbado. Let's go down to the words right here and just give you a word by word. Ain. We talk about the soft and the hard sounds, and we talk about, like, how some of our brothers, the Hebrew, the Israelites, in their Lashon Kadash, so forth and so on. From an English perspective, we understand some of the confusion, but I understand we get proud to learn things about our heritage. And then when some Rastafari rabbi or somebody's come along correcting you, it's not easy to correct. But we know over time people are going to get it, because, if you keep study, keep growing in grace, you'll get it. Here we have ain. If we look at the word for I in Hebrew, it's ain. So ain is different than ain. But if you look at the transliteration, they both more or less say A-Y-I-N, with a little like kind of apostrophe before it, right? A-Y-I-N. If you look at some of the better kind of dictionaries printing from back in the days, there's like a backward and a forward apostrophe. That makes a distinction there, but not to get into that. But look at the Hebrew. Here we have Aleph, Yod, and Nun. Aleph, some say Yud and Nun. We have Aleph, Yod, and Nun, or Aleph, Yud, and Nun. The A, Y, and N. In the word for I, that looks very much similar, it is Ain. It's Ain, Yod, right? It's Ain, Yod, and Nun. So a proper full voicing pronunciation of that will be Ayin. Ayin. Here we have an Aleph. Aleph is a softer sound, right? So we have like a hard A and a soft A, right? Just like we have Te and we have Te. We have Se and we have She. You know what I'm saying? So just to show you, there's this, some say the masculine and feminine, they go through that, but basically there's a hard and a soft one. Here is Ayin, not to be confused with Ayin, which is I, like the eye to see. So here we have Ayin, all right? Ayin in the Hebrew It'll be at a spoken be like ayin, and here ain, ayin, ayin, but then voiced as the ain, ain, ain. Ain means nothing. Ain means nothing. Interesting. Ain means nothing, but ain means nothing. Nothing, no, not, nothing. As you can see, not, ain. You know, to say ain, not to not have the possession. So it's used kind of often, you know, in Hebrew from a primitive root. Ethiopic is a primitive root meaning to be nothing or non-existence. Like if I say in Hebrew, I say yesh, yesh. Yesh is like there is. Yesh. It's like a particle in speech. Yesh, there is. If I say yesh li, li is for me. Yesh, there is, li for me. Yesh li, there is for me. You know, say for yesh lecha, is there like a book for you? And I say yesh li, say for yesh li, like there's a book for me. Like I have a book, in other words. But if I say ain li, ain li means that it's not for me, or I don't have. Ain. Yesh, there exists. Li for me. Yesh, there exists for me. Ain, li, there does not exist for me. So this right here, Strong's bringing out as if from a primitive root, they say here in Strong's, to be nothing, not to exist. You might have heard some of the Yehudi, even Kabbalistically, they may speak about, and even we might speak about, but let's talk about what they speak about. They speak about the Ein Sof. Ein Sof. Ein Sof. You might have heard the Ein Sof, or some might say Ein Sof. Ein Sof. Ein Sof. Ein Sof. Ein, remember, means nothing, not existing, right? Nothing, not existing. Ein, and Sof. Sof. Sof in Hebrew means like the end. It has a sense of end, right? A type of an end. Like there is, so basically say it's infinite, it's unending. So at the top of the tree, even above the tree, Kabbalistically speaking, where the God within the Hashilush, HaKadosh, the trifecta, the Trinity, on the tree of life, yes, the Hebrew Trinity, you know, was before the Christian Trinity, right? The true Trinity. But at the top right there, they will have above that, right? Above that, the Ein Sof. That means like unending. It's translated as like infinite, without ending. Right? Ain without sof, without an ending. So the first word here is ain, and then we have the word od. What is the word od? It's not the word add, it's the word od. It's not the word ode, it's not ode, it's od. Full voice. Ain od. It here BDB has it to go around. Continuance. Yet again. You know, the different substantive, adverbial. So you can see the still, yet, again. There is not still, there's none else, that sense of it. There's none else, right? And then we bring it down here. Milbado, from him alone. Like there's none beside, there's none else from only him, right? There's none besides him only, a kind of a way of bringing out the English. Milbado. Here, it doesn't include the preposition, the me, the me, libado. It's the root part, bado, libado. Him alone, milbado, from him alone. Ain o, there's none else, none beside, milbado, from him alone, right? And it's a very key phrase here, ki yahuahu, for he who be who he be. He is ha Elohim. Right, so since you know that he is the Elohim, and like he says, there's no Elohim, there was no Elohim before him, but then men and people, you know, they made their own God ideas after him. Therefore, we are acknowledging the only Elohim that ever was before man and man made their own type of God concepts or ideas. Ki Yahuwah ha Elohim ein od milbado. There's a key word right there. I like to share that. I wanted to share that right there because it's tuned. We share sometimes, and it's one of the Vaughn Benjamin dubs right here. Reggae Ain Old Malvado Chevy Keller right here. But we pick up more right here.
שנחזור לשורש למקור. העולם זה רק גן שעשועים והנער יוצא מעדן להשקות את הגן, כי באמונה שהכל אחד הכל טוב, הכל כך נהיה באהבה. אז היכן הפתח לשוב להיכנס לגניה, אל המקום שכל כך השתוקקנו אליה? השער והפתח, תפתח פיך ותשיר אליו, ככל שתמשיך יזרמו המילים ובוא לגן, בוא לגן. אינו מלבדו, אינו מלבדו, לחשוב נפרד לבד או לחפש איזה צד, ונדע כולנו כאחד שהבורא בורא עכשיו לייב, ואנחנו בידיים הכי נפלאות של המלך ואין מי שיכול עליו.
Yes. Here, just juggling right here. The board and also some of the questions, reasonings here. Give thanks, brothers and sisters. Here, just to distinguish these two right here. Just in the key word, right? The key word you can look up. Let me put this here. I'm gonna send this up right here. Nothing, not, right? Nothing, not, or no. Let me put nothing, not, or what's the other word right there? Like not existing. It doesn't exist in a sense. So on the board, I just shared that right there. Let me bring that up. So the I, the word for I, you can probably put this in the search, the H5869, or just take note of it, and you can put in your search, right? In fact, let me see if I can do this right here for you right here. Just to see right here. Okay, so you're on the internet, right? Let's go right here. You're on, that's the Ayin Odom Mavado right there. But let us take it off of that page right here, and let's bring it here. Let's put the H, right? What's the word? The Strong's word, 5869. 5869, and hit search right there. All right. Okay. 58, and then look for all. I had on pictures. You see right there? It'll take you to the Blue Letter Bible. The Blue Letter Bible. I have more things on my phone where I can switch up in language. I have to update the laptop right here, so we can, step up on sharing some of this information. But here we can share this much information. The H5869. It is iron. Let me see if what comes up when we go there. Okay, you see that right there? This letter here, I don't know if I can highlight this. Haven't been on Blue Letter Bible for years. You know what I mean? Blue Letter Bible for years, but we always used to say, go to the Blue Letter Bible, go to the Blue Letter Bible, go to the Blue Letter Bible. Now, it's good to hear others talking about Blue Letter Bible, Blue Letter Bible. So you see that letter right there, the letter that's highlighted is iron. Some of the Hebrew Israelites think that because the letter is called Ayin, right? The word Ayin means I. So some of the Hebrew Israelites, when they see the Ayin, right? Like Ayin is like I. So they say it like I. This is why they say Yahweh Shai. That's why they say Yahweh Shai. They think that that letter, the Ayin, is pronounced as I, because when we look in some of the Bibles, Old King James, I think it's Psalm. Which Psalm is it? That's a acrostic Psalm, the big one. What is it? 119. If you go through it every 8 letters, it gives you the Hebrew alphabet, another sequential letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So when you get to the Ayin, right, I think they have in the old KJV as A-I-N. Ayin. So people think, some of the Hebrews like think that that is to be pronounced as I. So wherever it's found, for example, in the name Yeshua, right? Yeshua, right? Ones would say Yahweh Shai, I, right? So instead of saying Yeshua, it's properly pronounced, full tone pronounced Yeshua. You can go soft with it. Some speakers, Afro-Semitic speakers, have a little stronger, fuller tone enunciation. It might sound like Yeshua, right? Yeshua. And so that's the Ayin there. The Ayin is a hard A sound. It's interesting because we make the hard A sound when we're talking English, and we try to, like, you know, people say for real, like, you know, it's a harder sound. But when we come to learning language, sometimes it's, you know, just a little cognitive, not dissonance, but cognizance. Cognitive. What's the opposite of dissonance? Sonance. We need cognitive sonance. You know, everybody talk about cognitive dissonance. That's a disease. So now we need cognitive sonance. So you can see that here it brings out, KJV translates this word here in the following manner: 495 times in the King James Version, the Ayin is brought as I. Sometimes Ayin is brought as sight, 216 times. These are the verses where it says, and in his sight. Like sometimes it says, and in your sight. But when you're reading the Hebrew, it's literally like Ayneka, like literally it's like in your eyes. But the translator translates sight. Just to show this right here. So this is one way we can do it right here. As you can see right here, we just tapped in the key word, right? The key word, and we have Ayin. So let's do this right here. Just take a snapshot of this. And now for the next one, I right there. Okay, one says in, E-N, in. Let's see which one says in. Okay, type that out. About to get into Shema briefly. Okay, in one I put A-I-N in transliteration. The other one I put E-I-N. Because in speaking the Hebrew, understand the nuance of the vowels, that some might say there's different speakers, like English, tomato. It doesn't occur only in English. There's different dialects. It doesn't mean the one who says tomato is not an English speaker, and the one who says tomato is not. You know, maybe in our village, if our mother, it's all depending on your mother tongue. You know what I mean? If in my village, the mothers in my village speak this way because the mother's the first teacher. So sometimes it's mother tongue. This is why often we have that later education where we are educated in the scripts. So therefore we can learn from the scripts and still have our mother tongue. Some only have their mother tongue. So that's understandable. Okay, so here, let's go to the next one right here. The next one right here. So the Ayin. So we have Ayin right here, which is the word for I. And then let's put this on the screen. You're still seeing that on the screen. Let us bring this up right here. We have this one right here. Right? We have the H369. So let's go H369. And it's easy to do. Give thanks. What Daniel said. What did Donnell say? They shall go to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. You know, the technology, you know, this computer technology based on binary system, you know, like 1 and 0. But you know how it really works? It works by modulation. How can we explain modulation? Daniel explained it in the way he understood it, right? Going to and fro, right? So give thanks for this technology when it's used properly. So here we have the H369. Now, I don't know why they have somebody's music right there, so we have to scroll past that. Okay, I see what you're saying, bro. I definitely see what you're saying. The EN. I get it. I get it. You was already ahead of me on that one. Give thanks, Brother Paul, right there. It does say EN because you see the little dot under the first letter is how it's been pointed as. Like in Hebrew, there are 7 primary vowels, just like the Ethiopic. All right, the Ethiopic on a certain level, because of the different fidels, it kind of has, it's a kind of a testimony to the ancient speaking, to the ancient speech patterns. This is why ones like Strong's and Gesenius, if you get into their books, the same Strong's, like we're using Strong's right here, if you get into their books and everything, you begin to recognize that they use a lot of Ethiopic to clarify things that they wasn't understanding. So Ethiopic does come into the deeper studies behind the scenes. You know, they always keep us behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But the truth crushed the earth will rise again. So the transliteration side, you're right, it says IN, right? Because that pointing there's E, U, E, R, A, I, O. These are the primary vowels. E, U, E, R, A, I, O. Now we're doing Aleph. So that means it can be as a sound. I know some say there's no whatever. You know, there's U, right? Here it's pointed as an E, right? The E, right? As an E. So here's pointed as in, right? As in. But you know the pronunciation on the next side, on the right-hand side, it says ahyin, unpointed right there. So I don't know why they did this right there, because I showed you on ours, they didn't have that pointing there, but you can see the same meaning is there. They have in, right? They have in. In Hebrew actually means a fountain, right? The same letters there can mean a fountain. It's another thing going on right there. It can mean a fountain, but that's actually with the word I. More properly, I would even say that they're wrong here, right? So I'll go on the record and say when they have the in right here, the in transliteration, that they're wrong there. I don't know where they got it from, but you know, people make mistakes, right? They should have put it as least AYN or EYN, because that's how the sound EYN, ain, a like EY, like we say hey 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 hey, HEY, take off the H is a. So you had A and the N, ain, simply. But still the meaning is correct here, right? The meaning they have outline of biblical usage, nothing, not, naught, nothing, not. You can see that what we showed you on the what is it over here? My sword. You see where they're getting it from. You see the my sword right here, right? You know, from the source here. But you can see how the transliteration is different here than the transliteration over here. You can see right what you point out. Good point there, bro. Good point, Brother Paul, right there, because it does say IN, and I would say that's incorrect. That's all I can say about that they're wrong, basically. You know what I mean? For none. Yeah, the ain. So what I want to show right here is that these two words right here are similar but not the same, right? If you read in the English, AYN, you might think it's both the same thing, but actually it's not. There's an aleph, which is a soft sound, and an ain, which is a hard sound. Like we said, the reason why some say Yahweh Shai, I, they say the ain as an I. They think that the only sound of the ain is the I sound, but that's not true. So instead of saying Yahweh Shai, well, actually, there's they add a hey to the Yeshua's name. They just, a lot of ones do a lot of funny stuff with the name. You know what I mean? The name is Yeshua. People try to say it's Yehoshua, as though it's Yehoshua, because the Greeks, in the Greeks, when the Bible translated in the Greek, the LXX, the Greeks don't have certain letters. They don't have certain letters. The Greeks don't have no ain. They'd have no hard sound. So it would be easier to translate, if it went directly the name of Yeshua into Arabic or Amharic or Ethiopic or Tigrinya or one of those languages, or Aramaic, because they have these letters. But in Greek don't have a sh sound. That's why in the best Greek, they have to say Iesus. In fact, the Greeks don't even have a Y sound. So they use the iota, which has an E, right? It has an E sound. E-A-sus, 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 E-A-sus. They could not say the yeah, the yod. We say Yeshua, Yeshua, yeah. They don't have a yeah. They have an I. Instead of a yeah, they have an I. So when they translated the name, try to write, they didn't have the letters there. Just plain and simple. People say, well, they could have, yeah, but you have to understand the limitation of language. That's why sometimes when we're learning another language, it's a little difficult because we're used to saying things a certain way. Now imagine we have a Fidel, an alphabet, a script, and we don't have anything of that sound in the script. Just a little point right there, just to bring out a little more reasoning on this, brothers and sisters and brothers right here. But to pick up off of this right here, and we'd like to go to the Shema, if we can. Touch a little bit on the Shema for a little bit of time that we have here. Why the Shema is so important right here. Give thanks, brothers and sisters and brothers. Let's just get a first day Sabbath seal tune. The Sabbath seal is Psalm 144, preparing for the first day. The first day, like after the Shabbat calm comes the warfare. So after that peace of the Shabbat comes that warfare of the world. You know how they say business is another form of war. So after the Shabbat peace, many say this psalm, the Sabbath seal psalm, kind of prepares us, for the work, for the labor, and also gives us the baraka. Here, 144. Ah.
Psalm 144. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. My goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me. Lord, what is man that thou takest knowledge of him, or the son of man that thou makest account of him? Man is like to vanity. His days are as a shadow that passeth away. Bow thy heavens, O Lord, and come down. Touch the mountains, and they shall smoke. Cast forth lightning and scatter them. Shoot out thine arrows and destroy them. Send thine hand from above. Rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. I will sing a new song unto thee, O God. Upon a psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. It is he that giveth salvation unto kings, who delivereth David his servant from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood, that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace, that our garners may be full, affording all manner of store, that our sheep may bring forth thousands and 10,000s in our streets, that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there be no breaking in nor going out, that there be no complaining in our streets. Happy is that people that is in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose God is the Lord.
Shema, 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 Yisrael. Here, Shema, Yisrael. Here on the Shema, as we mentioned even early in the Shabua, that in this 45th sabbatical study, there's a lot of really key texts right? Like the Shema, for example, the Shema. Here in this 45th sabbatical study for this Shabbat Strong, there's a lot of the key Yehudi, Judaic, and Hebraic texts that are found right here. So it's a very significant Torah reading and feeding, as we've been mentioning even a little bit earlier. Let's see if we can bring this up right here, just to go over a quick summary right here. Significance of this Torah portion reading and feeding, the 45th, picking up with Deuteronomy 3, chapter 3, verse 23 to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 11. This portion here includes some of the most fundamental, groundational texts of Ha-Yehudi, the scripts of the scriptures, including the Aseret HaDibarim, the 10 words that's called pseudonymously, and we say falsely, the 10 commandments, right? Because even when we showed it on the screen, we showed that the word commandment is mitzvah, but the underlying word in there, yes, 10 commandments does appear in the KJV Bible, but that translation of commandments there is an error. It should actually say the 10 words. Even the Koine Greek, the LXX got it right when they say Decalogue. Decalogue, the Greek translation of Aseret HaDibarim, Deca means 10, and Logos or Logia means words. So actually it's one command. So this is in this Torah reading and feeding, the 10 words, the commandment, ha-mitzvah. And also we have here the Shema. What is the Shema? As we mentioned before, it's not Shama. Shama, in the dictionaries, it means to hear, to obey, to listen. But in Hebrew, to say Shama, if I say Shama Yisrael, if I say Shama Yisrael, I say that Israel heard, like the patriarch Jacob or all of Israel as one man heard. But if I say Shema now is an imperative. It's like a command when you tell somebody to do something. Shama, he heard. Shema, hear. Shema, hear. So here, we have the Shema, the duty to love Yahweh Eloheinu, he who be I and I, Elohim, almighty power, and to study Torato. Torato is his Torah. Torah is Torah, and direction, instruction. Ha-Torah, the direction, instruction. We say Torato, we're saying his Torah. And also there's the commandments of what's known as the tefillin, right? The tefillin, right? And the mezuzot, the tefillin and the mezuzot. Do we have any examples of that right here? Let me see if we have any examples of that right here. Let's scroll through it. Okay, yeah, we're speaking about this, the boxes, the so-called boxes, the forehead box, and also the hand strap, the left arm right there. Let's go through this right here, the phylactery. Now, what's interesting is that if we go back to the first century time, the time of Moshe, that's why Moshe said what he said. He didn't say that having these things were bad, but they make wide these things. Like somebody just have fringes, but they make their fringes outlandish, so you could see it. Like, look, my fringes are bigger than your fringes. What the hell? First century. So in the first century, from archaeology, what has been found in the first century, the tefillin in the first century. So ones will say, well, true, the way it's done in the modern is somewhat different, but it's still based on the same principle. And then I have to ask how modern is modern. Look, we go back to this picture of the Qumran Shel Rosh, right? The opening showing 4 passages from the Torah. So this is what was on the Qumran, the Dead Sea Scrolls. So they had it at that time. And this is prior to the time of Moshe. Then we have the modern large and small Shel Rosh. Shel Rosh, shel mean like I say, sheli, to say mine. This is Torah sheli, this is my Torah. Shel Rosh is of the head, of the ras, the one that's put on the head, right? Compared to reconstructed Qumran, the Qumran Shel Rosh. Just want to show that these things, when Yeshua is talking about how they were practicing hypocrisy, it's not that they were doing these things, but they were doing these things outlandish. You know, they're not just wearing your fringes, but you wear your fringes very long and, you know, put it all up in by his face. Look, oh, he's holy. Look at his fringes. His fringes are all the way down to the ground. You know, that kind of weirdo stuff. You know, so the tefillin, right? The tefillin, right? So here we have an example of the tefillin. This is also here. The mitzvah that is said to bind the heart, the mind, and the action together into a single wholeness, wrapped up inextricably with the one, right? The echad, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah echad, with ha-echad, with the one who spoke and the world came into being. So, you know, these right here, this is what we're talking about with the tefillin. And then we also have the mezuzot. Mezuzot is like the doorpost, you know, like what's put on the doorpost as well. But here, we're going to focus on that, but we'd like to focus a little bit on the Shema, right? The Shema with the time that we have right here, right? Okay, let's bring this up. Shema Yisrael. The EI is to bring out the tone right there. Yisrael, Yisrael. You know, the amazing thing is the two letters there for El. If you go study it and get back to the root, you find that there's three letters. Ayil. Right, but when contracted, ayil is el. So a lot of it is just linguistic science, the science of sound. But here, Shema Yisrael, right? So here, let's touch on this just briefly here, because we have that audible Shema Yisrael. Hear, O Israel. Why is that important? You know, the
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
There we go.
Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel.
Hear, O Israel.
What
Shema.
Does Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ahad. Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel. The Lord, our God, the Lord is one. What does that really mean? And why is it important?
So right there, that's the Shema right there. That was recorded a little while ago. And so one will say, why you say God? You know, from low degrees to high degrees. Here. So the Shema. Where do we have the Shema? We have the Shema right here. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. So when we get to the 6th Aliyah, Aliyah is like the going up, the up offering, Aliyah, the ascension, like an ascension, Aliyah. Here you see it right there. It says, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah echad. Shema. Shema is the imperative, the command of that comes from the root shama. Shama means to hear, to listen, to obey. You check that there with the obey, the verb sense of it, right? To hear, to perceive by ear, to hear of or concerning, to hear, to have the power to hear with attention or interest. This is where literally it's to hear, Shema. But often from the shama root, to hear also Hebraically is connected with obedience. That's something that doesn't always come out in translation. So in some areas of the scripture, it speaks about obedience. But when you look at the Hebrew, it's actually going to the shama, right? The shama root, shama, to hear with attention or interest. Because there's other words for hearing, right? But this one is special, to listen to, on a general sense. But notice also to Shema or to Shama is to understand language. So it says Shema Yisrael, speaking the Ivrit, speaking the Yehudit, it was that the Hebrews and the Israelites would understand it because it was speaking in their language. See, and this is why sometimes translations help out, but when you deep end on translation, right? Yeah, this is why it's so good that we can study to show ourselves approved. Give thanks to all the translators and their best efforts. But here, Shama also means to understand language. When we understand the biblical Hebrew language, we understand that Shema Yisrael is, first of all, it's a command to the individual male. Shema. It didn't say Shema'u. Shemu is like, oh, you are. But it's speaking to Yisrael, all of Israel as one man. But it's also saying to Israel to hear, but also to obey. It's also saying to Israel to hear, but also to understand the language. To basically, as we say, to understand the language. right? Because although it says Shema Yisrael Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad, it's saying that hear, O Israel, Yahweh Jehovah, our Elohim, Yahweh, he who be Echad is the one. It's actually also testifying to HaShalush HaKadosh. Hebraically that's the Holy Trinity, the Hebrew Trinity, the Father, the Word, and the Spirit, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Yes, it actually is. When you are able to shama the language, understand the language. We'll get into that, hopefully. You see what it says to obey, to be obedience, is to shama. So it's like when somebody say, you hear me? Yo, you hear me? You hear me? It's like saying, not that I know he heard me, but I want to know, does he feel me? Does he understand me? Is he in agreement? Does he consent to what I'm saying? This is what the Hebrew is also bringing out, right? Just going through some of the forms of the basic root. Here's where it's strong to bringing out very good. A primitive root, Ethiopically related, Afro-Semitically related, to hear intelligently. Often, you see what it says in parentheses? This is where the Strongs were very good. When they understood something, they put these little cues in, often with implication of attention, obedience, attention, obedience. In the causative sense, like cause to hear, cause it to be heard, that's like to tell somebody. So Shema, first word right here. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Shema, Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Here. Let's go through some of the Shema here. We'll return to this. Do we have any? Yeah, we have a few presentations right here. This is one way, though. You can see where they have the Adonai. They have the double yods, the Yahya. You see on the Adonai, the Yahya, or the Yiyah, point at Yiyah. We say like the Jaja right there. That's where Yahweh, the name, would be. Some deference, as they say, to the name. Be that as it may. Let's go right here. This is good. Give thanks, Hebrew for Christians, John J. Parson. This is very good. Ones and ones can't see the breakdown in the bill. So the Shema is the central affirmation of faith for the tribe of Judah, the Ha Yehudim, the Judahite people. The Shema, right? In fact, let's go through this right here, right? And it's often the very first section of scripture that a Yehudi, right, a Judahite child learns. During its recitation in the Yehudi church called the synagogue, many of the Orthodox Yehudim, they pronounce each word very carefully and cover their eyes, right, with their right hand. Many Yehudim, Judahites, recite the Shema at least twice daily. Once in the morning, corresponding to the Shacharit, right, the morning service, right, and prayer, and once in the Erev, in the evening. The text of the Shema, right, is meticulously written on very small scrolls that is then rolled up and put in what's known as a mezuzah. Now we go into the further Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, and then get to verse 5 and 6, you'll see where it commands about the doorposts, like write it upon your doorposts. You know what I mean? This is where the mezuzah is like the doorpost. Mezuzah, right? Mezuzot is doorposts in that sense, right there. Just to show this. So now the complete Shema, right? What is the complete Shema? This is often the opening word of the Shema. So it's the first words that a Yehudi, right, a Judahite, a covenant, right, child would learn. And it's also said to be the last words that many who are conscious of those last moments, would say. So it's like, one's pass away. It's like the last thing is said. A warrior on the battlefield, not coming back from these injuries. It's the last thing we would say with one another to one of our fallen when it's over. It's like, so it's like the first word when you're born, so to speak, right? And it's the last word if you are, you're able to have consciousness, you know. So the Shema is actually more than just the famous so-called, you know, how many words? 6 words right here, right? Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Most Yehudi Jews today would say Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. But this is composed of 3 parts. So even these 3 words is a trinity, right? Once again, Hashalush HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem. Holy Trinity, blessed be He who He be, blessed be the name. It's composed of 3 parts that's linked together in what we call a unity, linked together in an einity. So we have the 3 linked together as one. That's why we say there was a time when the real scholars and teachers of Torah, when the rabbis knew Ha'ab, Ha'bein, and Ruach HaKadosh, knew the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So when Yeshua says about you baptize and teach in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, people think like, oh, it's a new thing. No, it was a true thing, right? They were not being true to the truth, but Yeshua always true, right? So the first part here, the Shema, is Deuteronomy 6:4. This is the core Hebrew, right, covenant affirmation, as well as it's an admonition. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Special emphasis is given to each of these 6 biblical Hebrew, Yehudit words of this passage. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. And a 6-word response is often said in the undertone. So according to the ancient Torah, when one would say Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad, upon our hearing, as the scripture says, to give glory, we say Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Le'olam Wa'ed. Modern Hebrew, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. In other words, Baruch, blessed, Shem, the name, Kabod, glorious, or glory of Malkuto, of his kingdom, Le'olam, forever to time indefinite, Wa'ed, Va'ed, and going onward, like from infinity and afterward, almost like say to infinity and afterwards, and keep going on even after infinity. So when one would say it traditionally, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Le'olam Wa'ed is a response, like blessed be the name of your glorious kingdom forever and ever. After a pause, right? After a pause, there's the next part, right? This is like the first part of the complete Shema. So the Shema is this word we have in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. But then when we go over here, let's bring out the passage right here. We go over here, we have a whole section. Let's go to KJV Light. You see where verse 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. These verses is part of the complete Shema. So the opening is verse 4. But 5 to 9 is known as the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta, or in the Afro-Semitic enunciation, We'ahavta. We'ahavta, modern Hebrew, Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta, We'ahavta. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 5 to 9, then is recited. This here emphasizes and stresses the imperative of the command to love Yahuwah Eloheinu, our Elohim, Almighty Power, with all our heart, soul, and might. It's interesting, the word might in Hebrew, me'odeka, is like all your enoughness. It's literally all your enoughness. Right? All your might, all your enoughness. It's interesting. We'll touch on that. But let's note this. Robeinu, Yeshua, HaNotzri, Einai Rabbi, the Rabbi, Yeshua HaMoshiach. He combined the core admonition in the Shema in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, Shema Yisrael, with the first verse of the We'ahabta. We'ahabta is verse 5, and thou shalt love. We'ahabta. Ve'ahavta, we'ahabta, and thou shalt love Yahuwah Eloheka. So Yeshua combined in his response to Deuteronomy 6 and 4, the Shema Yisrael, with the first verse, we'ahabta, in the next verse, Deuteronomy 6 and 5, as what is called the first great commandment. How do we know this? Mark this. Mark chapter 12, verses 28 to 30. Mark chapter 12, verses 28 to 30. And one of the scribes came up and heard them disputing with one another. And seeing that he answered them well, asked him, which commandment is the most important of all? Yeshua answered, the most important is Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. And then in verse 30 he says, We'ahabta, ve'ahavta, we'ahabta, we'ahabta, you shall love Yahuwah Eloheka with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and all your strength. Now it's interesting because Yeshua in the Deuteronomy, we have a trifold. Yeshua squares it off. He says heart, yes, it says heart. It says with soul, but then he says with all your mind and strength. While in here, Deuteronomy 6 and 5, your heart, your soul, and all your might. But it's interesting because the word might in the Hebrew means like your muchness. Me'odeka. But let's go forward, right here. So that's of interest there. Mark chapter 12, verses 28 to 30, and a study on Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, and the fuller part, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5 to 9, and to see what Yeshua said. Hear what Yeshua said. Now, in some scrolls, there are enlarged letters. You might see sometime, let's see if we have any enlarged letters here. We might not have any of the enlarged letters here. Oh, over there we go. On some scrolls, you see where the R, the Ein, that's that letter we was talking about, the Ein, right? You see right there, the one that's very big right there, the Ein. So in some manuscripts, like in the Sefer Torah, like which is the handwritten Megillah, like scroll, the two Ein, right? The two letters, the Ein, you see the Ein and the Dalet, right? The Ein is the large letter from the right-hand side on the top, and then on the left-hand side, the Dalet is that large letter there. The Ein and the Dalet, right? We have the Ein and the Dalet. They are enlarged in the first sentence of the Shema, right? Together, when we take these letters together, the Ein and the Dalet, right? We take them together, it forms a Hebrew word, Ad, and also Ed. Ed means witness. Ed means testimony, means witness. So the Ein and the Dalet together, Ed, right, means Ada, means witness. Ada means witness. It suggests that the Shema is a testimony of the sovereignty of Yahuwah Eloheinu. And our primary duty is to love him with our whole being, right? Holistically, right? So let's go over here, just to show another example of this, right? Let's see if we have it. There we go, right there. You see at the bottom right there, these two letters, go back. Yeah, these two letters right down here. You see right there, right? The Ein and the Dalet, putting that together. The two letters, Aid is a witness. So this is the first part of the Shema, just touching on the first part of the Shema. This statement marks the declaration that Yahweh, he who be, is who he be, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, be our Elohim, almighty powers, as one in singularity. How do we know? Echad. Interestingly enough, the word echad in Hebrew I have to point this out. Not in Arabic. We're not talking about Arabic, but echad in Hebrew can imply a unity in Trinity or a unity in plurality. In other words, the word for one and only, you know the word for one and only in Hebrew? What's the word for one and only in Hebrew? To say unique, right? It's often rendered as yachid, 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 yachid. It's interesting, yachid. When it's about Yeshua, the only begotten, yachid. When it talks about Yitzhak being that only, one and only, you know, that yachid. Yachid is one and only, right? For example, Moshe, he used the Hebrew word echad, right? In Bereshith, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Check it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Moshe, Robenu, he used the word echad, right? When he wrote, and they, speaking of the zakar unekeba, the man and the woman, right, or the husband and wife, right, will be one flesh. In the Hebrew, it's basar echad. Basar is flesh, echad is one. Basar echad. Genesis 2:24. Moreover, in Shemot, called Exodus chapter 26, verse 6, the various parts of the Mishkan, the various parts of the tabernacle, right, were to be constructed so that, right, in Exodus 26 and 6, and here's what's it's written, it shall be echad. It shall be echad sanctuary. It shall be an echad mishkan. It shall be one sanctuary, echad. And Yechezkel or Ezekiel, he spoke of the two sticks. Remember this two sticks prophecy in Ezekiel, the dry bones chapter, Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 19. Yechezkel, he spoke of two sticks. One representing fragmented Yisrael, right? Yisrael, fragmented, broken into two parts. To be reunited, and it feels so, it's so good. He's good. Kito, into one, echad. In Ezekiel 37 and 19, it says, and they shall be one, echad, stick in my hand. They shall be one, echad, right, stick in my hand. Now, that's the first part of the Shema, right? The first part of the Shema, right? From the Shema right there. As we pick up on even the second part of the Shema right here, right? The second part of the Shema right here. See, we can bring this out right here. The second part of the Shema, right? The second part of the Shema, we actually have to go to Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 13 to 21. We'll just read this one right here, right? So the Shema is like a full part of the service. The key verse of the Shema is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. But the second part is Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 13 to 21, where it reads, and if you will indeed obey my commandments. So when we look in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 13, the word obey is actually here. If you will indeed hear. Indeed, obey is like if you will hear and obey. If with hearing, you will be obedient to my commandments that I command you today, Hayom, to love Yahweh Eloheka and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. He will give you the rain of your land in its season, the early rain and the latter rain, that you may gather in your grain and your wine and your oil. Remember the early rain was the first harvest. Now we're coming up to the latter rain here in the season. And he will give grass in your fields for your livestock, and you shall eat and be full. Take care lest your heart be deceived and you turn aside and serve Elohim Acharim, the Elohim of other people, and worship and bow down and prostrate to them and worship them. Then the anger of Yahweh will be kindled against you, and he will shut up Shemayim, the heavens, so that there will be no rain, and the land will yield no fruit, and you will perish quickly off the good land that Yahweh is giving you. You shall therefore lay up these words, debarim of mine, in your heart and in your soul, and you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlet between your eyes. You shall teach them to your children, talking of them when you are sitting in your house, and when you are walking by the way, and when you lay down, and when you rise up. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, that your days and the days of your children may be multiplied in the land that Yahuwah swore, seven to himself, to your fathers, ancestors, patriarchs, to give them, as long as the heavens are above the earth. Now, that right there is the ESV translation, but it's interesting right here. You know, I might just have to go here just to show something right here, to make a point about something right here. Where's that? Deuteronomy 11:21. Let's just go to Deuteronomy 11:21. 11 and 21. Quickly right here. 11:21. 11:21. See what it says? That your days may be multiplied in the days of your children, right? In the land that Yahuwah swore to your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. What does that remind you of, brothers and sisters? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. On earth. And everybody want to go to heaven, right? But it says, as the days enter into the kingdom of heaven. That means the Holy Spirit receiving up. As the days of heaven, upon the earth. So you see that idea right there? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done where? As the days of heaven upon the earth. So here, just pointing to this part right here. So this is called the Wahaya, right? This section here is called the Wahaya, right? Wahaya. Let's see if we can bring this out right here. Wahaya. Modern Hebrew, they'll call it the Vihaya. Vihaya, but this is the Wahaya. Let's compare this right here. Wahaya. Right here we go right here, just to show you the verse. This is what this is called. That word that's highlighted right there. Wahaya. 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 Modern Hebrew to say Vahaya. Vihaya. But what does Wahaya mean? Right? Scroll down to Tanakh. Right? Wahaya. Right? Haya. Haya means to become, to be. It shall be. It will come to pass. It will happen. It will exist. It will happen. Haya, haya, wahu haya, wahu hawe, wahu yehya betifera, wahaya, to exist, to be, to become. Now, the haya is very much a part of Yahuwah, right? We see the haya, right? You know, within Yahuwah. But be that as it may, this is called a wahaya, and it shall be. This moving passage stresses and emphasizes the berkot, the empowerment to prosper that come through obedience, hearing, Shema, hearing and obeying to Yahuwah Eloheinu, and the consequences that come through disobedience or hard of hearing, right? And then also in this section from Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 13 to 21, we have the mezuzot scrolls, right? The first two parts of the Shema are written, right? There's a kind of a STA hyphen stamp, right? What is the STA hyphen stamp? It's kind of going into the Hebrew. Sometimes the Hebrew letters are used like in code, right? On a small scroll that is rolled up and put inside a mezuzah, right? The mezuzah, you know, like on some Yehudi homes, on the side of the door, the framework of the door, the post, it would be these scrolls, right? These words from this area in the scripture. So that's the second part. The Wahaya is the second part. The first part of the Shema is the Shema, Deuteronomy 6:4, verses 5 to 9. The second part of the Shema is recited. The second part of the Shema is recited, the Wahaya, right? Wahaya of Wahaya from Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 13 to 21. And that points out the berkot, the blessings of obedience and the consequence of disobedience, and also the commandment of the mezuzah, to write it upon our doorposts, right? Now, thirdly, the third part, right? What is the third part of the Shema? The third part of the Shema is known as Vayomer. Vayomer. What do we have, Vayomer? Or more Afro-Shemitically in our mother tongue, Wayomer. Wayomer. So right here, we have Numbers chapter 15. Let's go to Numbers chapter 15. Numbers chapter 15, verse 37, right, to 41. what do we have right here? Right? It's basically the first words right here. Where we go? Okay, there we go right there. It's right there we go. This is this part right here. Right? So the key word is from the opening word. Wa yomer, modern Hebrew, vayomer, vayomer. That opens up this section right here, Numbers chapter 15, verses 37 to 41. This section. Yahweh said to Moses, Wayomer Yahweh Moshe Lemor. So the Wayomer, we call the Wayomer pointing to this scripture. Wayomer, and he said, Yahweh, and Jehovah said, Il Moshe Lemor, to Moses Lemor, saying, speak, Dabir, speak to the Bnei Yisrael, speak to the Israelites, and tell them to make them tassels on the corners of their garment throughout their generation, to put a cord of blue on the tassel on each corner. And it shall be a tassel for you to look at and to remember all the commandments of Yahweh, to do them, right? Not to follow your own heart and your own eyes that you are inclined to whore after, so that you will remember and do all my commandments, imperatives, and be holy to your Elohim. Ani, I am Yahweh Eloheka, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, to be your Elohim. I am Yahweh Eloheka. So now here, this is actually this section. Let's go to KJV Light. We actually just read that from the ESV. Speak to the Bnei Yisrael, the sons of Israel. Bid them that they make fringes or tassels in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put the fringe on the borders. Put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be to you for a fringe that y'all may look upon and remember all the commandments of Yahweh and do them. And that y'all seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after that y'all used to go a-whoring. That y'all may remember and do all my commandments and be holy to your Elohim. Elohim, right? Ani Yahweh Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim to be your Elohim. Ani Yahweh Elohim. So when he says that Ani, I am, that's like signing off, like a contract agreement, and you sign off on it. These principles are amazing right here. So the Wayomer. So this is the Wayomer section, Numbers 15, 37, 41, just going over the complete Shema Yisrael. This passage here that we read here, Wayomer, and he said, Vayomer, and he said, and he spake, right? This passage is concerned the use of the talit, right? What is the talit? It's like Ethiopiacally we say the netala, netala in the Hebrew talit, netala, talit. Sounds might be cousins. Talit netala, a rectangular prayer shawl with 4 fringes, right? This is called the tzitzit. The tzitzit. What is the tzitzit? The tzitzit or tzitzit. Let's go down here, right here, and let's see if we can bring this up right here. So where's the fringes? Right here on the edge of your garments that you may fringe. There we go, right there. Tzitzit. 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 The tzitzit is a fringe, a tassel, or like a lock. A fringe, a tassel, or a lock. In fact, a lock of hair is a tzitzit. Did you know? A lock of hair is a tzitzit. I think it was Ezekiel that said that he was taken by a lock of his hair, on a journey right there. So one tzitzit is attached to each corner of the talit, right? The talit, like a prayer shawl, right? Like the netala Ethiopiacally. The reason for wearing a tzitzit is to remind oneself to observe all the commandments of Yahweh, right? Often some Orthodox wear it regularly. Others, especially in prayer, would put on the talit, right? The talit, right there. And it's this passage here, right? So there's more on the Shema, right? Just pointing this out right here. Just some of the basics. There's much more just looking at the time. The Shema is often like in the liturgy, right? That means in our prayer service is a very important, word. Hear, O Israel, hear, O Israel, right? Hear, O Israel. So here's the part right here. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Liturgically, the Shema refers to a section of the service. So when we gather together from such a time to such time, it refers to like a section of the service. The service is known as the Abodah. Abodah, Afro-Semitic pointing, modern Hebrew, Avodah. Avodah, 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 Abodah. The service that includes the following components. Just to go over just a brief, right? There's about 6 basic components. The Baruchu, the Baruchu. Bless y'all, Baruchu. Right? Bless he who be the call to worship. There's the Yotzer Or, the creator or the former of light. There's a blessing that we call upon, a blessing for the creator of light. Yotzer, the former. Literally the former, but often translates creator. Yotzer Or is light. So there's the creator of light blessing. There's the Ahava Rabba, Ahaba, love Rabba, Ahaba Rabba. The great love Baraka is the great love Baraka. Then we get to the Shema portion of the service. These are the core words of Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, followed by a Baraka, right? A Baraka, a blessing in undertone. So when one would say like loudly, as we mentioned already earlier, one would say, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. The undertone Baraka is Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Le'olam Wa'ed. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. So that's a response. When we hear the Shema, that is the response. Because it is said that when we hear the name of Yahuwah, of Jehovah, we are to give glory to his name. So when we hear Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad, is only proper to give a baraka, right? To glorify the name. Baruch Shem Kabod Malkuto Le'olam Wa'ed. So that undertone response right there. This is just the overview for now. Then we come to the 5th part, the Ve'ahavta, or the We'ahavta. We'ahavta, Ve'ahavta. This is from Deuteronomy chapter 6, right? Verses 5 to 9, as we touched on. And then the 6th part of the Shema in the liturgy is the Geula Baraka. What is the Geula Baraka? Geula, Gala, Gichi. Geula is redemption. Geula is redemption. Geula Baraka, the thanksgiving, right? Thanking Yahuwah Eloheinu, thanking Hashem for Geula, for redemption. And for I, of course, by Shem Yeshua HaMoshiach. But here, brothers and sisters and brothers, just a fullness right here, just sort of touch on the Shema, just briefly on the Shema Yisrael. A little bit more on the Shema, hopefully in the Shavua, Yah willing, go over this right here. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. From right to left, top line, word by word. Shema Yisrael, Yehovah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Interesting, because we're going to build on how is this unity. How do we find this unity? And we're not the only ones, but others before us have seen the unity, the Echad, in the plurality or the unity, right, in the true Trinity. Here, even in this one verse right here. If we would Shema, if we would hear, and if we would Shema, if we would understand the biblical Hebrew language. Anyway, brothers and sisters and brothers, right here. Do a little outro right here. Usually we have Psalm 24. Psalm 24, right? Psalm 24. First things first, here. First day.
Psalm 24. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah, 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 Selah.
מזמור כ"ד לדוד מזמור. לאדוני הארץ ומלואה, תבל ויושבבה. כי הוא על ימים יסדה, ועל נהרות יכונניה. מי יעלה בהר אדוני, ומי יקום במקום קודשו? נקי כפיים ובר לבב, אשר לא נשא לשווא נפשי, ולא נשבע למרמה. יישא ברכה מאת אדוני, וצדקה מאלוהי ישעו. זה דור דורשיו, מבקשי פניך יעקב, סלע. שאו שערים ראשיכם, והינשאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני עזוז וגיבור, אדוני גיבור מלחמה. שאו שערים ראשיכם, ושאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי הוא זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני צבאות, הוא מלך הכבוד, סלע.
לדוד מזמור, לאדוני הארץ ומלואה, תבל ויושבבה, כי הוא על ימים יסדה, ועל נהרות יכונניה. מי יעלה בהר אדוני, מי יקום במקום קודשו? נקי כפיים ובר לבב, אשר לא נשא לשווא נפשי, ולא נשבע למרמה. יישא ברכה מאת אדוני, וצדקה אלוהי ישעו. זה דור דורשיו, מבקשי פניך יעקב, סלע. שאו שערים ראשיכם, ינשאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני עזוז וגיבור, אדוני גיבור מלחמה. שאו שערים ראשיכם, ושאו פתחי עולם, ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני צבאות, הוא מלך הכבוד, סלע.
Yes. Shabbat Tov, Chaverim. Good week. May Yahuwah bless the eye, and I keep the eye, and I, cause his face is grace to shine upon and I, give and I Yeshua shalom. Shalom babayit, have peace at home within the innermost of the inner man. Clean hands, pure heart, Psalm 24 right here. Oh, today's daily psalm is Psalm 70. Get a chance to meditate on it, Psalm 70. But right here, outro, Queen Malka Makeda right here of clean hands. Here, Psalm 24, Niki Kapayi, Ubal Lebab, and a purified heart. Clean our hands, purifying our heart. Yes, I. Rastafari. Shalom, Chabarim, Shalom. Shua Shalom. Yeah. Shabbat Tov, Mishpacha. Have a good week, a good strong, good week, a blessed week. Shabbat Tov, Mishpacha. Family, yes I. B'Shem Yeshua HaMoshiach. Yes I. Be blessed and highly favored. Yeshua Shalom fam. Yes I. Rastafari and I.